Oh, Chelsea sucks. You may have seen my favorite co-host, Zach, who got in the 1907 show, and he dropped the hottest take of 2024. And he said, yeah, you know, Liverpool looks really good. Salah looks really good. But guess what? Chelsea's just as good. And we're going to go. Now is the time. We're going to go on a run. And look at the run that Chelsea's gone on. Sorry, Zach. So we're going to experiment today. I'm hate watching Arsenal right now, which everybody who's a Liverpool fan should be doing that. If we slip up, no pun intended, I know Liverpool fans should never say the word slip. But if we do slip up, Arsenal will be there. Let's see if it will let me share this. Let me see if I'm even allowed to share this. Wow, it won't let me. I'm screen sharing. Oh, so they must have some software where, look, it won't let me screen share Arsenal. That makes sense. So, yeah, I've got the Arsenal game on. And I cannot screen share. So, yeah, that's it. I just wanted to do a test. I tried to screen share. It did not work. But we're going to be reacting. We're going to have a show. We're going to talk about what's happened to Chelsea. I'm going to make a thumbnail. Oh, Chelsea. What happened to Chelsea? And then we're going to react to what happens in Man United tomorrow, because I don't think anybody has expected. You really need to not be overconfident when you go in games. And we are overconfident against Manchester United tomorrow. They're sucking. They have a new coach. He's not getting it done. He has a system that doesn't fit those players. The players are straight trash. They don't have state winning anything. So, and we're the opposite. We're the best team. I've got this Arsenal game on. Looks like Arsenal's winning 1-0. Oh, Zach just texted me. Let's see what's going on. Maybe he wants to join this. It's time for a bounce. Zach, he's texting me right here. Chance for games. It's different players each time. This time Palmer gave away the ball late for the goal. It's time for a bounce. Let me call this guy. Try to get him in. Hey, are you at a game or are you at home? Okay. If I send you a Riverside link, can you join? Oh, yeah. I'm recording right now. I'm talking trash about Chelsea. I'm trying to do my job. Yep, I'm making. So, yeah, we can do a reaction video tomorrow after United. All right. So, I'm recording right now. I wanted to see if I could get you in, but you can't. He can't. He's at a bowling thing with his daughter. But, yeah, I tried. So, I'm going to be in the studio more, Zach. I'm going to do my job. All right. Have fun. Love you. Bye.
You gotta talk that loud the whole time?
No. How's this? Is this okay? Is this acceptable? I can't talk that loud. That was my wife. I was yelling, basically. I got pumped up. I'm a producer.
Like squealed a minute ago, too.
I'm a producer because you don't understand. Zach literally made a podcast by himself and hopped on here right when Liverpool was struggling. And he said, look, I think Chelsea's going to go on a title run right now and Liverpool's going to fall off. And instead, have you seen Chelsea's record? You need to sleep, but don't sleep on Liverpool like Zach did.
I won't be able to sleep on anything. It's really
okay. Love you. That was my wife. Zach's calling back. What's up, bro? Yeah, and you can just put yourself on mute and only like take it off to talk. All right, let me see if I can invite you to this. This will be lit. All right, bye. All right, Zach wants me to send him a link. So I'm going to invite a guest I'm going to invite him via email. What is Zach's email? Thank you for bearing with me. I don't care. All right, let's see. I've got Arsenal over here. It's 32 minutes. Arsenal's winning 1-0. We're 5 minutes into this podcast. Listen, the reality is we aren't these professionals, obviously, at podcasting. I just want to tell you about this. This is a Liverpool ukulele. You see the 6 stars for Champions League. I painted that bird on there. This, it used to say Justice for the 96. They changed it to Justice for the 97. But yeah. So let's see if Zach can join this. But this I can't play right now because my wife's not feeling well. She came in and asked me. I'm just a family guy. My son just bought me rice and sausage. Thank you, Kyle. It's not a normal podcast. This is a Steve family podcast. So Welbeck, 33rd minute. Welbeck. Slices just wide. Host. Come on. Here comes Zach. Okay. All right. Now I know you're on mute. It's good. It's good. You're at a loud place. Can you hear me? Can you nod if you can hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up?
Great. So we can't podcast. I'm hate watching Arsenal right now. And Arsenal, because they're an actual title contender. They have actual stability. So it's 32nd minute. Welbeck just hit wide of the post. And your picture looks grainy, but I wonder if Riverside is recording it in high quality and it'll upload it, like when it uploads, if it'll look good. Because right now it looks trash, but that's fine. We got nothing to lose. We're not letting our fans down. I can't hear you. You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah. You should see a note at the top that says it will be higher quality in recording, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't, but I've seen it before. So yeah, what can you?
So you don't see it right now. Yeah, it's a little fuzzy.
What's happening?
I can tell you what's happening since you don't watch the matches and you don't know what's up.
I got more kids than you. I
know you don't watch. You don't know what's up. You don't watch, so you don't know what's up. Then you talk trash like you know what's up. You don't know what's up. What's your opinion on what's going on?
My opinion of what's going on is you have young players. I told you. It's not a mix.
You're stealing ideas from me. Ideas from me.
I listen to you. I don't disagree with you. My thing is, you were unrealistic. You've got this coach. The chance that this coach is as good as Slot is low. Slot is rare. It's not normal what Slot is doing.
Oh, dude, Slot walked into a team that should have won the league last year. This is the reality. Liverpool should have won the league last year.
Maybe you don't know what injuries are.
You were in the driver's seat, and you blew it. And then Slot walked in. He's like, "Hey, everybody, just calm down. Let's just calm down. You guys are clearly the best team in the league. Just calm down." That's all I had to do. Hard job.
In Champions League too. I'm going to edit this video. I'm going to drop the list of injuries. And when you see it, it's insane. Klopp super overperformed last year, and he did something no exiting coach did. Instead of burning out and fading away, he said, you know what? I'm going to help build Liverpool 2.0. And if you look at his final speech, he spoke to them. He goes, look, this team got so good so quick that I really probably tried a little too hard. And that's what happened, and we fell apart at the end. But I love you guys and what you did. So he did build a Liverpool You're right. Slot came into a very good team, but it wasn't Liverpool 2.0 hadn't done it yet. You know, our whole midfield.
Yeah. But this is. I mean, everybody's talked about it. Normally, with these kind of teams, you walk into a team that's falling apart, that's aging, where it's just, they got to really rebuild. This was a rare case where Klopp stepped away while the team was very good.
That he rebuilt to make very good.
Had players at their peak. Yeah, 100%. Like Slot walked in and he's like, "Oh, thanks for giving me this gift.
Right.
All I got to do is make these guys play a little more controlled and a little calmer." And I mean, I'm not taking away. He's a great coach. He's changed his tactics for different teams. He changed his tactics mid-game. I think it's a little overhyped. Like if you talk to players sometimes, they're like, "What did he tell you at halftime?" It's like, "Oh, just like one or two, simple things." Like, okay, that you got to keep it simple. There's football players, but he does change tactics well mid-game for different teams. He's a great coach. Mariska's a great coach too. The players are screwing this up. They're screwing it up. They've outperformed these teams the last 4 games. Obviously, we've totally screwed up for 4 games in a row. They have chances. They don't make them. They get a little lackadaisical at the end, and all these teams are scoring them at the end of the game. And I mean, there's definitely gripes I have with the manager, with coaching, with players. But they're all these last-minute goals that these young players they don't know how to close out a game.
But Crystal Palace had 2.
Say it again.
Crystal Palace had 6 shots on target to your 1 shot on target. That's not.
Yeah, they shanked balls that they should have scored. You got to watch the game, Steve. You can't go without watching the games.
This tells me a lot. You're not.
Yeah. You can say that tells you a lot when you've watched the game and you can see what it tells you. You can't look at them by yourselves and know what the game looks like. The situation is, I saw it in the middle of the first half. Middle of the first half, they were screwing up big opportunities. And I was like, this is just going to go just like these other games. They're going to screw up all these opportunities for most of the game. And at the end of the game, they're going to let in a goal or 2. And we're lucky it wasn't 2.
Okay, I'm going to read you something. This is okay, and I want you to let me know if this is down to the players. Okay, today against Crystal Palace, we're only going to look at one stat, and you're telling me if this is total waste of time or if this makes sense. Shots on target. Today you had 1 shot on target. They had 6. Next game, it's Ipswich, bottom of the league, just promoted this year. Okay, Ipswich. You tell me if this is a waste of time. You had 5 shots on target. Ipswich had 6 shots on target. 2 of those were big chances. Moving on. Chelsea versus Fulham. I know stats, they don't mean anything. I should watch the game. I'm not learning anything. Against Fulham, a very good team recently. Tough game for us. Chelsea had 8 shots on target. They allowed Fulham to get 7 shots on target. They ended up losing the game. Everton. Okay, we know Everton's a hard place to go. You had 5 shots on target. You allowed Everton 4 shots on target. So if you, what I would say from this is you need to dominate football games. You have the players, you have the technique. So what's the problem? For me, the problem is Maresca's system. His system is not. You always blame it. Oh,
give some details. Give some details. What's wrong with the system? What should be different?
Feyenoord players are worse than Chelsea players.
No, I'm saying what should be different in the system? You said the system is wrong. What's wrong with the system?
What I would do is on the coaching pitch, he needs to coach retaining the ball and more control.
That's not system. That's holding the ball.
No, you can have a system built on control.
What is going wrong with the system with this? You don't know because you haven't watched the games.
Oh, that's your theory.
So you don't know. I know what you're saying. You're trying to come up with some conclusions based on. You're trying to come up with conclusions based on stats without seeing what went wrong in the game.
Sure. The fruit.
Oh, I know what you're doing. I can see that you're like trying to connect dots, but you don't have all the dots because you don't know what's happening in the game.
Okay, so
the situation is these young guys get a little bit. They get a little uncomposed. They're a little too eager to score, excited to score, and they screw up their chances. And then they get a little nervous or a little lackadaisical at the end, and they give away crap chances like at the last minute. Like they just screw up. It just screwed up young player mistakes. But on the coaching front, there's a couple of issues. I'm not identifying them because you don't know what's going on. A couple of issues. One issue is that their approach to the low block is not working, and it worked really well with one game, and then they switched up the approach. They're trying to work it sort of the mid-city way. They're trying to work it in too cleverly when there's not space, and they don't have Real Madrid or Barcelona players. Of course, they have top quality players, but they don't have the team, haven't been together, they don't have the quality to work it into those tight spaces and score goals. So they need to do a couple of things. They need to shoot from outside the box more. I don't give a crap what stats say. When you can't work it through the team, you need to start taking shots. And they're not taking enough shots to shake up their attack, to shake up the defense, to get rebounds, to get half chance goals, and they need to take more of those shots. Secondly, the game that they did really well, constantly crossing it in. They were constantly crossing in balls, and they just don't do it. They're afraid because we don't have good attacking header. We don't have good players for headers. But it doesn't matter. You have to cross the ball in. If you don't cross the ball in, you're not going to score on these teams that are shutting down your space in the back in the attacking third, our attacking third. So they're not doing that enough. It's the same. So I have to mute when you talk.
Yeah. For me, I know you're mad right now, and I can't say anything because I haven't watched a lot of the games. But I actually did watch some of your last game. I watch it when I can. Okay, and for me, your team is young and they play to the opponent, which means that their playing style, it either is flawed or it's not stable. Because if it's stable, no matter who you play, you will impose your style. So when you play losers, you play like losers, meaning all over the place, not control. When you played us, you didn't play like that. You dominated the game. So that makes no sense. How could a team that dominated, how could a team that is the only team that slots like, yeah, they actually played better than us for part of the year, then go to these teams and allow these teams to get this many shots down to the competition? I don't know how any of the reasons that you gave should equal the other team getting a bunch of shots. To me, those midfield problem.
Yeah. This is there's different things you could talk about with this, but it comes down to young players making stupid mistakes. And I'm sorry, it's not. They control the ball, but then one stupid mistake from like a young, inexperienced player leads to a great and the teams playing against us. That's what they're waiting for all constantly. They're waiting for that chance to break and get their goal. And the teams have done well against us who have tried to do that. But the defense has been shaken up by a lot of changes. We're constantly having to change the defense, which is a big problem. Because Fofana got injured again, now maybe through the end of the season. We finally had our solid center back pairing. We finally had it. Fofana and Kola. That's when we were rolling. Then Fofana tripped on a ball, stepped on the ball, fell down, injured his hamstring. Supposed to be out for a couple weeks. He's out maybe now to the end of the season because it's worse than they expected. He was out last year, almost the whole year, with a knee injury. It's unfortunate. Lavia is golden. He will be the best player in his position at some point. He's 20 years old. He plays with so much composure, so much skill. Again, he was out most of last season. He's out for the past few weeks again. So something small, supposed to be. He came out as precaution in a game. Hasn't come back. It was a small thing. He came out as precaution at halftime. Hasn't come back. I thought it was a concussion issue because it's when he got elbowed in the head by Kulusevski. But it wasn't concussion. It was a small muscle thing. He's the perfect partner in there with Caicedo. But again, when he was out last season, we struggled to control. We struggled to have control in the midfield. This season, again, when he was in, we were rocking it. When he got injured, we're struggling to have the control in key moments that we need. So The rest of the team, they're good, but they have to get better. They have to develop. They have to be better in big moments and big portions of the match. But this is what it's been come down to. Cucurella dominates when he's on, does superbly, but he's missed from yellow cards, from double yellow reds. He's a fiery character. He plays fiery. He shuts down people with his high intensity, but then he's sometimes too high intensity. On the right side, we've swapped in and out so many players because of things that happen. I'm not a fan of switching around players when one is out to make. I'd rather just like Vega in and left back and keep
Straight
Gusto
swap
on the right instead of putting Gusto on the left and then someone else on the right. That's one of my issues with Maresca. He changes too much, and I know we have a lot of good players who can play different roles, but he changes too much and he needs to have a little more stability with who he's putting in.
Right, minimize the damage.
I'm not a big fan of the competition makes everybody better idea. I think that makes too many players nervous. And there's different positions I could talk about with that, but I'd rather a little more stability, a little less competition in some positions.
Well, especially we have real competition for places between Soboslai and Curtis Jones, but they're just a little older. It's like they can really handle it, and it's like, look, you are a great player. You would start for any team, but you're playing for Liverpool. And so it's very fine margins. Soboslai falls off for a few weeks. Curtis Jones goes in, scores against Chelsea, and then Curtis Jones gets a run. So that's something we're benefiting from, where there's two people that really can rarely start together. But when they do start, they deliver because they understand like the competition level's that high. So it's almost more like healthy accountability to really put in a shift. When you've got young players, I see what you're saying. It's like they really need a run of games. They're still developing. They don't have stability. When you talk, what I hear from you, I know I'm a quick study, man. It doesn't take me that long to learn, and you know that. So even when I hear you talk, the thing I hear is defensive instability. Any team.
Yeah, and let me emphasize that because we've given away a ton of chances, and people are very eager to blame the goalie. I saw it on Reddit yesterday. I forget what it was, but we've given away a ton of chances.
Yeah.
And people are always blaming the goalie for the mistakes.
It has nothing to do with
the goalie has been phenomenal. He's been top tier for saves, a lot of stuff. He's made a few mental, blips early on, but he's saved us in multiple games. Our defense too easily slips up and gives away big chances. Yeah. Not just like they get shots on the edge of the box. No, all of a sudden they slip up and they give a big chance away. Yeah. And people convert. And there's a bit of luck going on. There's a lot of games where we had higher XG and lost, but that's how it is. But this is a problem, and a big part of this is we don't have the stability in the center of the defense. And we had Badiashile then come in, and he was partnering well with Colwell, getting better, and then he got an injury, and now he's out for indefinitely. And we just had this problem for the past couple of years where our defense is constantly getting injured. Reece James is supposed to be back. He's back. He's apparently able to play now, but he didn't play today. But again, like no one believes Reece James is going to be back long term until he's played at least 10, 15 games in a row. Like he just has gotten too injured for the past few years. He was the best player in his position a few years ago, but he's been hardly playing for 3 years. So it's really challenging when you're constantly getting players back, getting them worked in, and then they get injured again. And a lot of this, last year they blamed Poch on this. They blamed Poch for all the injuries we had.
Right.
We have some players who just are very injury prone. And it might be different injuries, but still, we have too many injury problems in the defense. And the midfield is not solid enough without Lavia. Caicedo's a destroyer. Enzo's doing a lot better this season. But there's just those moments when these young guys, even Cole Palmer gave the ball away really ridiculously that led to the goal. A stupid mistake from Cole Palmer in the midfield, which, you don't say that much, but it happens. Yeah. And it happened, it just happens game after game with one of these guys. They have, their young guy of the day moment, and it just gives away the games. And, I mean, it's been really, we've become the team that loses or ties at the end of the game.
You're just giving
the worst thing. It's the opposite of a championship mentality, where no matter what happens, you somehow close it out at the end of the game or somehow hold on. You know, it's the opposite. So, and I agree. The competition level at Liverpool is very similar, but these guys they're more established in their careers and who they are.
Yeah.
So they know these young guys, they need time to really believe that they are who they are, to understand that that they're top tier. Because if they feel like, oh, I might not play next weekend, they're always trying to prove themselves, not just to the coach, but to themselves, and that's just a recipe for disaster. And I don't know. I would say things have been a lot better, but there's just fine margins. I mean, Crystal Palace got us twice this year on fine margins. The last time we played them, they had like one shot, and that's all they needed. As he scored a wonder goal, but we again lost points against them in the beginning of the season. Anyway, no, Liverpool's much more fine-tuned, well-oiled machine, and Chelsea is just trying to get settled. But it's just very frustrating when you.
Yeah.
Oh my God! We had a good run of games here to really do well, and we blew it. So.
Well, I think
it's frustrating.
Before the year's over, I think we're in agreement. In spite of me not watching your games.
Let me just say one more thing I forgot to say earlier. So the other part of that attacking, our set pieces are a disaster. It frustrates the crap out of me. Instead of taking a corner and hoping for a goal once in a while on a header, we take these short corners, we try to play it in, and we go back to just trying to play it in. I'm like, dude, it's not working. Take the freaking corner. Someone might get their head on it. Like, take a normal corner and try to attack the ball. Like, how did Arsenal score so many goals? Gabriel attacks every freaking corner. They take corners the normal way, and Gabriel attacks the ball. Like, pick a guy who's your attacking guy. I mean, you have Virgil. Pick someone on Chelsea who can attack the ball on a header. Like, there's got to be 1 out of 11 players who can attack the ball. And then try to cross. I mean, you have Cole Palmer, you have Enzo Fernandez. You have guys who can put the ball on a dime. Get one guy and every time try to attack the ball with him.
Numbers
and
game.
I mean, it's not rocket science. Playing it in off of the short corners is not working. We're like worse. We're like one of the worst teams in the league on corners and set pieces. It's like, it's not working. So do something else. So it's driving me nuts.
Yeah.
I'm really frustrated with the corners, with the set pieces, with the inability to realize that playing it in on a low block doesn't work for us. It just doesn't. I mean, we should have players who should work with Sancho, Palmer, but it's not working. And maybe it's a little bit too casual. Like, it's sort of like what's happening with City this year. It's like, oh, it'll eventually work and we'll eventually get a goal. But it's too casual. No, you have to be a little more intense. You have to be a little quicker with those passes. You have to have a little more risk aggression going in if you want to score those. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, no, that's good. Something that I think is a theme this year, thanks to Holland, is humility. Stay humble, stay humble. We're seeing this from coaches, and we're going to wrap up here. I want you to get back to your family, but I just want to try this out because I'm going to start spending more time in the studio. Just now that I've kind of settled into my new day job, now I can really start coming in the studio 2 or 3 times a week. So I'm going to be here more. And so, yeah, I just kind of impromptu thought, hey, I'll record one and see if Zach can, obviously you're at a bowling thing, but stay humble.
No, that's fine. That's the way to do it. No, keep going with the stay humble. And I mean, Isaac said the same thing yesterday or something, or today, or just try to stay humble. I think this is the key to life, but keep going.
For sure. But I'm saying, particularly from a coaching perspective, something that I've heard about from the players is he is very black and white, and if it's not working, he changes it immediately. He'll change it in the game. He'll change it at halftime. He'll change it after a game. He immediately, that didn't work. He doesn't have any I better stick with this. And if you look with Ange, Spurs coach, that's the top complaint, that he doesn't have a plan B. So that's something I hear from you right now. It's like, look, this is one facet. There's many different facets in a game, but this is one facet that we are really sucking in the corner routine. So why don't we just change that? Even just changing that, it's, if you get a goal from it every 1 to 3 games, that's a huge difference. So I just wanted to highlight that's a point that I think we're seeing this year with coaching. Is there humility? Is there an always learning, always able to adjust, change? Or is it more like old school, no, this is my way and this is what works? Yes, having a game plan is huge, but these games now in teams, they analyze. Who knows? They probably have the guy. They've got all these tools that we can't even imagine to think, okay, how can we hurt Chelsea? And so Chelsea has to be sitting there live in game thinking, wow, they're really hurting us there. What change can we make? And how can we hurt them? All of those things. That's why these coaches are getting paid buku bucks per year. They've got to have a team of people that are telling them, look, this is how we're getting hurt. This is how we get them. And they need to be able to make those decisions. There is no like just play one way and it works anymore. Those days are done.
Yeah, no, Maresca is very adaptable, changes a ton. I might say one of his problems is he changes too much. That he's always changing the tactics based on the team.
Just not with corners.
System. They have, yeah, but not with corners, not with trying to play through the attack. I mean, I don't know. I'm curious to see if this changes throughout the rest of the season, but it's just it's a tough challenge when you don't have necessarily players for that.
Yeah.
We don't have a striker who's good in the air or whatever. But we don't have any player with. But anyway, yeah. I think it's just these guys are a bit too young and they don't know what to do in different situations. Well, they don't have the. I don't know. I was hoping they were growing into it. They would learn and they would be ruthless, but. They sort of just lost focus a little bit, it feels like. And I mean, the whole, like, they were all like, we're not in a title race. They were all very honest about it. But the hype got so big that I think that kind of thing hurts when you get a little too much hype going on your side and you maybe just expect that things are going to go well and you don't put in the last 1%. You put in 99%, you know, or something.
Yeah. It's a fine margin.
And I do think that's something Klopp has drilled into the Liverpool team so well. It's still just part of their DNA that you always put 101%. You never put 99%. I feel like that's key.
Just it's something that I know we need to start doing more in these videos is the screen share. Can you see that? Okay. So this is just I guess this injury list is from last year. I just wanted to see this sort of thing we need to start doing when we do our videos. Hey fans, we're learning, but have our tabs up with anything that we want to show. And then when we talk, boom, we can pull it up and then come back to talking. So that's something. So tomorrow, if we can plan on doing one after the game, which I have church, obviously every Liverpool game, Liverpool is so prime time. All of their games are on Sunday. If it's on Saturday, it's either the early game when no other teams are playing, or like Arsenal right now, the late game when no other teams are playing, because they know everybody's going to watch Liverpool. They want to make that money, and they're almost always on Sling every single time. The one game that was on Saturday was 7:30, and I'm so glad it got postponed, but I literally woke up but early to watch it, and then it was postponed. Every other game is on Sunday this year. We know what you're doing, Premier League. Great. But so I've got to come home from church, watch that Liverpool game. I'll probably be done around 2:30. And then let's get our browsers set up and be ready to talk tomorrow. You know, can we save the Chelsea ship? What needs to happen? And you know, I'm either going to be in the land of delight. I don't know if you probably don't. A situation I think is really dangerous is when you're overconfident. You see good coaches are like, nope, respect the team. They can play great. And, you know, and Slot totally did that. The situation that Liverpool's in right now playing Man United is probably the hardest situation to do that. We spanked them last time. Now we're stronger than when we spanked them last time. They are worse than when we spanked them last time because they have a new manager and there's no new manager balance. Really, it's like all shambles. They're getting totally exposed. There's a system they don't even know how to play. So like the interviewers in the press conference for Slot were like, hey, Man United, they basically said Man United sucks so bad. Are you going to rest some of your players for this game? Like they literally asked that, like it was Carling Cup or some other competition. Slot's like, no, we're not, you know, of course he avoided making that soundbite like, yeah, you're right. We totally don't need to take this game seriously. Obviously, he's not going to fall for that. But I think tomorrow is a really tricky game. Derbies are always bad. Like these teams hate each other. There is infinite motivation that is always there. Oh, the other thing is this game's at Anfield. So we're almost definitely going to win. I mean, I just can't say Anfield's such a huge advantage. but Mo Salah, he scored more against Man United in the Liverpool Man United games over the last few years than any of their attackers have scored. So it's going to be what I could see. Worst case scenario for us, I see them scoring a goal in the first half and us going into the half, and you know what's going to happen. It's going to be like, what the heck are you guys doing? You're not really trying. You came in this game overconfident. Here's exactly what you need to do. And then we come out and it's like 5-1. We score 5 goals in the second half. Something crazy like that. I think that's the worst case scenario. I think best case scenario, are we going to try to beat the 7-0? I really don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. What I have not seen from Emery, does he have the ability to park the bus? I haven't really been watching his games yet because that's the only thing that would work.
I haven't. He hasn't done that as far as I know. I haven't been watching his game, but I have wondered if he will finally change up a little bit, given the big disparity in the squads and their results. I do think I have felt like this is a potential banana slip. This is a potential bogey game for you guys for exactly the reasons you said. It's just when it's this kind of case, when one team is so down and one team is so up, and the recent matches have gone, it's just like a recipe for disaster for the favorite team. At the same time, because of the quality of Liverpool across the pitch and its seeming inability for Manchester United to match that, you feel like Liverpool will still win. But it does feel like that kind of game that could be a big surprise. It's the same with the FA Cup final last year, Man United and Man City, where probably less than 1% of people expected Man United could win that.
Right.
And
they beat us in some. They really messed up our party last year. If you want to talk about, Klopp was overachieving with that team. We were fighting for the quadruple, and then it changed. It changed because of Manchester United game, and so what Man U could do to hurt us tomorrow is they can super park the bus. I know he plays with a 3-back. A 3-back can really become a 5-back if your wing backs are back. So if he super parks the bus, does dark arts, gets physical, just constantly disrupts rhythm, which Slot hates that because Slot's trying to create the rhythm. He wants to dominate and create the rhythm. If you look, he gets pissed at all these stoppages, and he has a point, but obviously nobody cares. Like, whatever, dude, you have the best team. You're not getting any favor. So if they disrupt, nice. Yeah, I see what you're showing. That's good. If they can disrupt our rhythm tomorrow and park the bus, and for me, they should just do damage limitation. Like, if they go there and they only lose 2-0, I would say that's a win, because the effort that's going to take for them to come to Liverpool, to come to Anfield, if they can not concede the first half, and then by the way, I haven't watched your games, but looking at the stats, this is exactly what I was pointing out, exactly what you have on the screen. I said, look at all these shots you're allowing. You can't allow these. You need to watch shots.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, but this is the point I was making. This is most defensive errors. So it's not just like we're not controlling. Yeah. It's just the defense will make one big. Like against Tottenham was a ridiculous example. Cucurella slipped twice, and they got 2 goals off of them. But but we have 41. Only Aston Villa 37. We're just leading. Even look at Tottenham, 34. They get burned every week for this. Like, people are constantly talking trash about them for this. We have 41. So you can say it's system based. I think it is mostly these guys. They don't have the stability of the same back four.
Yeah.
They don't have enough experience, and they just make one slip up after another, and many of them are so bad because these are big errors. Most of them are so bad they lead to goals. So but let's get back. This is I found earlier, so I wanted to share it.
You would be competing for the title. 2 stable center backs, that play 90% of the time together. If you look at that Leicester team that won,
you have to have 2 good stable center backs.
It is such a huge effect. And even in video game land, a lot of my friends, if any of them watch, it's center backs. I make a joke, center backs control titles, because it just makes it infinitely harder to score. And if you look at Arsenal, their center backs, that's the best players in their team outside of Saka. is their center backs. That's what they've had there. So, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, even Liverpool.
Really
You can
good.
say Liverpool is tremendous in all these different positions, but it's your center backs.
Yep.
Virgil, who a lot of people say is like back to his best. Konate was insane level. And then you got Salah creating chances out of nothing and scoring goals out of nothing, and then across the pitch you have a great team, but those guys are the core, and then Gravenberch in front of them. We've got Caicedo there. We've got Colwell. Like,
I don't like him.
He's very good, but he has moments, and he has moments
just
losing his head or just making mistakes. He's very young still, but maybe I think he was mature. But Alice loves him, by the way. Alice loves Colwell, so you got to give him some respect.
Does she?
But the thing, she absolutely loves Colwell. She thinks he's tremendous. But he's still young.
Every game.
But he needs someone like he needs an older, experienced hand next to him, like he had with Silva. And again, he and Fofana were building that. We did that with them, and then Fofana got injured again. So it's like, even with Badiashile as a backup, it was like, okay, this is good enough for now. And then he got injured, and then you're switching. We played this teenager today, which he did fine. He didn't make any mistakes. He's amazing, but.
But what's he gonna do? He can't.
We keep trying different things because we keep having injuries. Anyway, back to Liverpool. That's where Liverpool is solid. That's where Arsenal is solid. Everybody's put them as Man City is.
Konate's been injured, but what Liverpool has, and they've worked hard over a long time to have this, is you have to have more than really. Talk about depth. You have to have more than two to have a stable center back, because Konate got injured. And then Gomez steps in. Well, Gomez is very experienced center back, and the last 2 years he actually just got injured, sadly. Thankfully, Konate's just coming back. I hope he's really back, not forced back. But Gomez stepped in, perfect. Like, you barely felt a blip. And then the guy that's coming out of that, Kwanzaa, he's young. He's super young, but he's somebody, like, in my opinion, it's like Colwell level.
And even talk about what happened last season at this position for you.
It was brutal.
I mean, I think that's a big part of why you fell apart at the end of the season.
Yes.
How would you analyze those center backs at Liverpool second half of last season?
Well, yeah, they were injured long term. So and also the way that the way that Klopp plays exposes center backs a lot more. We control the game now. What's up? This is Zach. This is Uncle Zach.
Earlier,
yeah.
They only made actually.
You want to play outside? If you come say hi to Zach, I'll let you play. Come on. You can speak there. Say hi, Zach. Hi, Zach.
Hi.
He can't. He has this thing. He's at a bowling alley. It's good.
Hello. Go outside.
My little He's a lefty. He's fast. You would like this guy. He's got that.
My older daughter's lefty. Lefties are.
This guy.
Always having
He's so competitive. He's looking at the other player instead of the ball. He just hates the other player. Wants to beat the other player. His own team. If somebody scores, he looks at him like, "That was my goal." Like, it's like, dude, calm down. He's born on Michael Jordan's birthday, bro. Like, there's a problem here. He took everything seriously.
This is like my younger one, Julia. That's why Julia's a Man City fan, because when we started watching, when we watched tennis all the time, she always picked who was better, and then we started watching football.
So she's never picked Chelsea.
She picked Man City because they were dominating and they were winning, and she likes Haaland, she likes Foden, but now. The thing is, I was curious how she would respond with them collapsing like this, and she's struggling with it. But she's not changing teams. I was hoping to get her to change, but she's not changing, which is interesting.
That's good. She's going to become a real Man City fan, actually, which there aren't any. But somebody has to go with you.
There's a lot of young ones.
Somebody has to play with you.
These young kids. Obi, Mikel, Mikel.
Yeah.
Mikel John Obi. His son is a Man City fan.
Oh, John Obi Mikel?
Yeah, his son is a Man City fan. Just, It's
Yeah,
the same. Why are there so many Manchester United fans? Because they were dominating in the 90s. And,
Yeah.
why? I mean, every team, they have a lot of fans, of course, who have been across
Right.
generations, but it's because they were dominating at some point. They got a lot of fans. But anyway. Yeah, but I mean, Liverpool.
Here, come say hi.
You got the solid center backs. You got the solid midfield. Hey, how's it going?
Oh.
Are you going outside with the
Look like kind
with the
of.
little one?
I love like the Liverpool background.
Oh yeah. Here, you, Kyle. You want to get here? Look at these twins. Look at these two. Look how much they look like. Get.
We don't.
Well, the problem is that your screen is extremely fuzzy right now for me, so I can't
Oh,
really
yeah.
see anything.
It won't be in the video.
But yeah, I will see it in it.
I love you. You're going to. You're back to 3. Is Av going?
I'll see.
She doesn't have to, but I'm just saying. But Johnny has to. Okay, if there's a problem with him, come back early. Make sure there's not a problem. It's terrible. All right, love you.
All right, we can wrap up. We can wrap up, but you tell me the truth now. You have to feel like Liverpool is going to win the league, and explain why.
When you are fighting for the title, you never say we're going to win the title. So you can't ever.
I don't care. You have to say it. Everybody wants to give it to you now because you're so far ahead. Everybody knows it. You have to admit the truth.
All right. I will admit the truth that the title challengers this year suck. Arsenal can't attack. Chelsea, unstable. You cannot be allowing a bunch of defensive errors. You'll never win the title if you do that. Never happens. Defense wins titles. Everybody knows that. Every sport. And Manchester City, they're a corrupt, evil team that's finally been found out. I don't know what happened to them with 130 charges. So Liverpool are, just by default, they're really on. Comes into a good team, calms down, overall is better in every single department, which is exhibited by highest XG, least XG conceded. Yeah. And I think it's interesting, kind of a little bit of a side note. Mo Salah seems really focused on winning the title. He keeps saying it's like the point of his life to win the title. And that is what it's funny because it's new, but that's what it's supposed to be like with your star. Like that's how that's used to be. Duh. Like if for those of us who grew up watching Manchester United, that's how Alex Ferguson had freaking Gary Neville and those punks, like his little traumatized children. Every single week, they're in the tunnel. Like it's almost like a borderline abusive. If you look at Gary Neville's face in those old school videos, like they're petrified. Like we were out here, and the point of our life is the title. So yeah, I agree. We're on track, bar injury problems.
It's a fair take, and I mean, it's the things regarding Chelsea. Maresca has said the same thing about the team. A couple of the players, Cole has said the same thing. We can't be letting in these stupid goals. We have to be solid in defense. We're not solid enough. We're not consistent enough. Not stable enough. So they've all, I mean, are the same things. Unfortunately, now it doesn't look as good when you're losing and tying games. then there's like question like, was there not enough belief? Was there not enough, telling the guys that they could do it, But the reality is that's been the situation even when we were flying. And Maresca said, I love Fofana. I love Wes. He said it repeatedly. I love Wes. And to be losing him so much of the season again. No. But Liverpool, I would push you on the Champions League and the quadruple and all that. But I know that's ridiculous. But the reality is you have all the ingredients and you're so far ahead of everybody right now that
this says it all.
It would be ridiculous, and it would be an epic fall if you don't win it. It would be really bad.
But really, we're not that far ahead. Here's the thing: like we're not that far ahead. So I don't know what's going on because
Arsenal is the only team that has a chance, and Saka just got injured.
This is a big program I got at the end of his career, but this was
right. Let's wrap.
It's the final program. I ordered it just to have it, like Klopp's final game. So, yeah. So if you went to Anfield, which you and I should do one day, will go to Stamford Bridge too. This was the final program for Klopp. I ordered it last year.
I mean, I just say, I'll close my final thing. If Liverpool wins this, Klopp should be there. he should get a lot of the credit. Obviously, Slot will get the credit he gets, but Klopp deserves a huge portion of anything.
Well, he deserves
you guys
it.
accomplished this year. So,
I mean, because of COVID, there was no parade. And side note, you know, they said, look, if they strip these titles from City and they gave you some, he's like, there will be a parade and I will be there. He said that. So that was perfect.
All right, we'll get back to watching Arsenal. Still up 1-0. Maybe Brighton will.
All right, thanks for hopping in. We'll see what this video looks like. I'm going to try to edit it and upload it, and I'll upload it to Drive for you.
No, just put it on the. Okay, all right. Peace.
Yeah, it'll be easier. All right, thank you. See ya. So there you have it. I don't know how blurry it came on my end. He looked horrible. Maybe no one will ever watch this, but we're learning. It's early days. One thing I think we can look forward to is next year, the rivalry between Liverpool and Chelsea is going to be lit. Chelsea, literally, there's no limits in the transfer window. They can buy whoever they want. And I think that they know after this year, obviously, we need center backs. So I think the future looks very bright for the Premier League. Get these cheaters, Manchester City, out of there. Sorry for all the people who became Manchester City fans right now, while they're literally, they've been cheating, guys. They've been lying. They've just been buying whoever they want. It's like playing Monopoly, and this one guy's like taking an extra $500 every turn, and for some reason he can buy every property, every hotel. That's what's happening. It's affected every team in the league. What's up?
I might have closed the process.
He's back. So, yeah. Next, the future looks very bright. Looks like they're fighting for a penalty. It's 58th minute over in Arsenal. He flicks it with his head. It looks like the Brighton player is talking trash. João Pedro pops it up over his head. They grab him. They pull him down. Oh, yeah, he gets a headbutt. Saliba headed him right in the head. They have to show this. VAR has to show this. VAR has to show this. Guilty. Guilty. It's got to be given. So if you're Saliba just headed freaking João Pedro in the head in the box. And Gabriel's like, what are you, moron, bro? He headed him. Yeah, Arsenal fans are like, how is that a penalty? Bro, this is João Pedro, this is Saliba. That's how it's a penalty, bro. That's how. Didn't even show a replay. Looks like we're about to have a penalty to tie it up. He has to make this. I'm going to record it, and I'm going to show you guys. See if I get in trouble. Let's go. Game's tied. Gosh. You can't see it. He scored. João Pedro scored. All right. This very weird video. We're going to do more videos. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share to your friends. Peace.